Soybeans futures plunging nearly 5% today, on track for their worst day since July of 2017.
American soybean farmers are among the businesses lately caught in.
Soybean futures plunged nearly 5% today, marking their worst day since July 2017. There was a time when American soybeans commanded global trust. Millions of tons flowed from the Mississippi Basin to East Asia, Europe, and North Africa, synonymous with consistency, competitive pricing, and massive scale. Fact, but by mid-2025, that reputation cracked. Shipments to China, the Netherlands, and Egypt were halted, flagged, or outright rejected. In under 90 days, America's third-largest crop export found itself at the heart of an international compliance storm. Visuals: containers offloaded, port inspectors analyzing soybeans. Narrator voiceover: in Qingdao, China, trace pesticide residues. In Rotterdam, foreign matter and degraded soybeans. In Alexandria, excess moisture and visible mold. Being word: behind every rejection, lab reports, inspection logs, and growing tension. Narrator voiceover Harst: at the core of the crisis, a standards mismatch. U.S. exporters met domestic requirements, but foreign buyers had moved on. They wanted lot-specific traceability, sealed identity preservation, internationally certified testing. The U.S. still leaned on batch averages and terminal-level certification. Segment 2, the fallout. Narrator voiceover Harst: the consequences were swift. Contracts suspended, margins collapsed. Midwest farmers, especially in Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri, faced financial chaos. Once premium exports sat unsold in rail cars, rerouted for livestock feed at steep discounts. Local elevators tightened intake standards, credit lines, equipment purchases, even next season's planting plans, all in jeopardy. International buyers, they no longer wanted relationships. They wanted proof, and the United States was behind. Segment 3, Canada steps in. Narrator voiceover Harst: as global buyers moved away from U.S. soy, another supplier quietly stepped forward: Canada. Historically a smaller player, Canadian producers had spent a decade investing in quality, traceability, and premium traits. Now, those efforts are paying off in billion-dollar deals. Soy Canada rep soundbite: our goal is to ensure a reliable supply of sustainably produced, high-quality soybeans. Narrator voiceover Harst: what makes Canadian soybeans premium? High non-GMO production, especially in Ontario and Quebec. Higher protein content, ideal for tofu, soy milk, and feed. Clean seed practices, advanced moisture control, and low foreign material. Superior infrastructure and export routes through Atlantic ports. Regions like southern Ontario, Quebec's Montérégie, and Manitoba's Red River Valley now lead the charge. Segment 4, the infrastructure advantage. Narrator voiceover Harst: behind Canada's success lies strategic coordination. The Canadian Grain Commission ensures strict standards. Exporters work directly with international buyers. Blockchain-based traceability and remote quality tools offer real-time data. From growing conditions to pesticide usage, Canadian soybeans are transparent, traceable, and trusted. Narrator voiceover: while U.S. soybeans struggle with reputational damage, Canada delivers value. Segment 5, the global shift. Narrator voiceover: the impact is global. China signed a multi-year $1.2 billion deal for non-GMO Canadian soy. Japan, renowned for strict import standards, bypassed U.S. suppliers entirely. Europe: the EU's Green Deal emphasizes sustainability and traceability, areas where Canada excels. Narrator voiceover: in contrast, U.S. soy, often chemical-intensive and poorly tracked, is falling out of favor. In late 2024, the Netherlands signed a $750 million 5-year deal with Ontario soybean producers, one of the largest Canada-EU contracts to date. Segment 6, economic realignment. Narrator voiceover: as Canada celebrates booming exports, the U.S. faces mounting losses. Over $2.3 billion in missed contracts, soybeans piling up in ports, storage costs rising, freight rates in turmoil. Narrator voiceover: Canada's 2024 exports jumped 35%, exceeding $4.1 billion. Local economies, co-ops, and processors are expanding to meet demand. The Canadian government, heavily invested in supporting this rise. Segment 7, U.S. Response and Challenges Ahead. Narrator, Voiso. The U.S. isn't standing still. The USDA is revamping inspection protocols. Researchers are developing higher protein, lower contamination varietals. There's renewed interest in non-GMO crops and regenerative farming, but rebuilding trust will take time. Narrator, Voiso. Buyers now have long-term contracts with Canadian suppliers. Even if U.S. quality improves, trust, consistency, and diplomacy will be key to regaining market share. Segment 8, The New Soybean Era. Narrator, Voiso. This isn't just about soybeans. It's about the future of agriculture in North America. Canada isn't winning because it grows more soy. It's winning because it grows better soy and knows how to prove it. As global buyers demand more from their food systems, transparency, sustainability, and reliability, Canada rises to the challenge. Narrator, Voiso. Can the U.S. reinvent its soybean legacy, or has Canada set a new global standard? Let us a hofer fascinated for the spurst. Closing title card. In a values-driven global market, trust is the new currency, and Canada, it's cashing in.